Here is the Mike Nowak Environmental Report.
And now to a man who's not afraid to tell you what you need to do to keep the planet he lives on clean.
Take your food scraps out to your compost pile. Screw in a compact fluorescent light bulb. Turn on a window fan instead of an air conditioner. Low flow, baby. Shower heads and toilets. Take one napkin at Starbucks instead of 6.
Mike Nowak.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Environmental Report with Mike Nowak. I use these brief few minutes to make you aware of environmental news, events, insights, technological advances, best practices, and things that make you say, My moment today is about coffee and recycling. You might not think that those two go together all that neatly, unless you're one of those people who owns something called the Keurig coffee brewer. And right now, for some of you, that has turned into an aha. You know that Keurig is the 8,000-pound coffee brewing gorilla in the room when it comes to single-serve machines, which are all the rage. I'm talking about a $5 billion a year take-it-to-the-bank rage for the company called Keurig Green Mountain. But there's another rage, and that's from the folks who note that Keurig churned out more than 8 billion, yes, with a B, plastic K-cups in 2013 alone. Enough, according to one journalist, to wrap around the earth 10.5 times, which you have to admit is a lot of K-cups. Add to that Keurig's recent addition of proprietary technology that was designed to prevent you from using K-cups from rival companies, even if those knockoff pods are reusable, biodegradable, or recyclable, and you have a lot of people wondering just how sustainable this kind of coffee making really is. Part of the problem is that because the K-cup is made of plastic integrated with a coffee filter, coffee grounds, and plastic foil top, there is no easy way to separate the components for recycling. Even Green Mountain admits that they don't have a K-cup recycling facility. But don't worry, they're working on it, and they expect to have recyclable pods by 2020, though they haven't said how they'll address the component problem. So just when you think it's safe to pile on a company that appears to be producing a colossal amount of waste, along comes a fellow named Adam Minter to spoil the fun with a bunch of pesky facts. Minter is the author of a book called Junkyard Planet, Travels in the Billion-Dollar Trash Trade. He is an award-winning journalist who also hails from a family of Minnesota scrap dealers. He now lives in Asia and has a blog called Shanghai Scrap. No, I haven't read Junkyard Planet yet, but I've read enough of Minter's work to realize that he knows what he's talking about, and I want to have him on my radio show. So, when he recently wrote an article for Bloomberg View titled, "No, Your Coffee Pods Aren't Killing the Planet," I took notice. I posted it on the Facebook page for The Mike Nowak Show, and I commented that I wasn't 100% convinced that he was right, but that he is a person worth listening to. Surprisingly, he commented on my comment, and he had some interesting things to say. Like this, quote, "I can tell you that several of the life cycle analyses performed on coffee brewing have taken into account the total energy balance involved in making the pods as well as the coffee. One even took into account the energy involved in making the coffee machines. What came out of these studies is quite interesting. The greenhouse warming potential, that's GWP, of pod packaging is a minuscule part of the overall brew, topping out at around 5%. Brewing, under any scenario, accounts for the bulk of the GWP, tipping over 50% in some cases." End quote. He also notes in the article that there's a real question of whether high-profile product bans of water bottles, plastic bags, or coffee capsules risk causing more damage than they prevent. He points out other inconvenient facts, that to measure the real impact of the coffee industry, the entire life cycle from cultivation to brewing to disposal must be considered. Like I said, this is a guy I want to interview. Regardless of what Minter has to say, I don't think that lets you off the hook just yet. For one thing, when you bought that machine, you were only thinking of convenience, just as you are when you buy a boatload of water bottles at the Costco, or you don't bring a reusable bag to the store. Too much trouble, right? Why, I oughta. The point is, our rampant consumerism is a disease, and perhaps the knee-jerk reaction to it doesn't help much either. We would be much better served by actually studying the facts and figures of these issues before rushing headlong into a buying spree or into disastrous legislation that creates as many problems as it solves. Things always work out for the better when we do our homework first. That's my report for today. For more information, check out my website, MikeNowak.net, MikeNowak.net. Go green or go home.